Hey guys, this week we were asked to locate a good example of a written business memo as well as an example of a poorly written memo. We also were supposed to analyze the good and the bad of both. Firstly, I have to say it took me a little longer than I thought it was going to find a poorly written memo. I didn't think it would be this difficult, but it was. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to locate anything relative to the poor delivery of a good message, so I settled on an inter-office memo that I located at bced.gov, which was clearly written in haste and possibly in quite a heated moment. Based on the writing, it appears that the author had just been informed that questions that should have been directed to him were being directed elsewhere, which clearly annoyed and frustrated him to the point that he ended up using poor grammar and a clear lack of formatting in the memo. If I've learned nothing else in this class, I've learned that regardless of your audience, you always want to put your best foot forward, so to speak. You want to avoid becoming lazy and forgetting even the simplest of rules when it comes to effective communication, regardless of who you're directing the message to. While it is sometimes acceptable to be less formal, maintaining a professional demeanor is always important, especially when you're in a work environment. Using terms when addressing your audience, such as you people, as this author did, immediately informed the readers that you're frustrated and potentially angry, and you run the risk of coming off as condescending and harsh, which could very well turn the reader off to the remainder of your message. Starting a message off this way will basically ensure that the message will be taken as offensive to your audience, and the purpose of the message will likely be ignored or unintentionally overlooked, which will potentially ruin any working relationship you may have built with the people that you're addressing. So you don't really want to do that. When it comes to locating a good example of a business memo, I looked on savvybusinesscorrespondence.com, and it provided me with a good example to discuss. The attached memo, which there's going to be the good and the bad attached, was directed to the department heads in the company, by who I assume is likely a president or CEO of some kind. It's short, it's simple, and it's directly to the point, as all memos really should be. There is a clear subject line that states annual bonus leave for employees with outstanding performance, which is clear to the point and will be easy to locate by the recipients in the future if they ever need to reference it for any reason. This memo is delivering a good news message, so it therefore should be delivered deductively, and it is. The writer took care to do just that. The first sentence of the message directly states what the point of the memo or the main point is, and goes on to explain it in detail, to include the date that the leave will be credited to each employee and how many days of leave they should expect to accrue. Furthermore, the conclusion of the email explains to each section head that there will be a meeting involving all of them regarding the above mentioned, and provide the date and time that it will be held. This email is easy to read and to understand, and it quickly addresses all necessary points and provides the recipients of a scheduled meeting, providing them ample opportunity to address any questions or concerns that they may come across in looking over this email and addressing what it contains. At the very top of the memo is the author's contact information with the address and the phone number. And the closing statement makes it very clear that any questions or comments are welcomed prior to the date of the meeting, so as to avoid any confusion and possibly even be able to shorten the actual meeting by having addressed these issues beforehand. Using this method for delivering a simple message that is important to multiple people is most easily addressed through the form of a memo or an email. When in doubt, keep it simple and directly to the point, and always look for spelling, formatting, and grammatical errors prior to submitting the memo. It keeps you looking professional and makes it clear and concise for the reader. Signing off.